thriving wildlife, pristine habitats, clean running streams, and rich productive farmland, revealing glimpses into southern Alberta's once healthy and stable environmental foundation. The effects of industrialization have left their mark on the quality and quantity of wildlife in Alberta's agricultural belt, but the future is looking bright. Welcome to Partners in Habitat Development, an innovative wildlife and environmental conservation program making a big difference in how we relate to nature and our land. The Partners in Habitat Development Program, better known as the PhD, was launched in 1998 in the Eastern Irrigation District to redevelop bird and wildlife habitat within the farming regions of southern Alberta. In the 1960s, southern Alberta's irrigated plains were a haven for wildlife, and its landscape supported a strong and diverse ecosystem. Since then, irrigation water conservation policies and the onset of more intensive farming practices have steadily reduced the amount of suitable habitat required to support resident wildlife in the region. The PhD program was first pioneered by the Eastern Irrigation District located in Brooks, Alberta, and Pheasants Forever Calgary chapter. Pheasants Forever is a non-profit conservation organization dedicated to the protection and enhancement of pheasant and other wildlife populations in southern Alberta. Founded out of necessity, it has proven itself to be one of the leading environmental projects ever established in the region. The PhD program offers an innovative approach to land management and conservation and is the very first of its kind in Alberta that involves nature conservation on private lands. The primary elements of habitat restoration projects include nesting cover, shelter, food sources, and protection from natural predators. In its first 4 years of operation in the Eastern Irrigation District, the PhD program has planted over 90,000 trees and shrubs on over 50 sites, installed over 20 kilometers of fencing to protect habitat sites from livestock access, and developed landscape conservation farm plans encompassing more than 24,000 acres. The EID and Pheasants Forever have engaged numerous other organizations and government agencies to contribute funding and resources to the PhD program. Whenever possible, PhD projects are leveraged by incorporating them into new or existing partner sites, such as this Ducks Unlimited project.
Been working with Ducks Unlimited for over 50 years in this area with the local sportsmen. But about 2.5 years ago, a conservation group in Calgary called Pheasants Forever was at a Ducks Unlimited dedication at one of our projects here, and they said, gosh, we'd sure like to work with the irrigation district to improve wildlife habitat with pheasants, as certainly a key species.
Working cooperatively with a wide range of partners and resource users also dramatically increases the scale and scope of habitat projects. Area farmers and ranchers have played a pivotal role in the success of the PhD program by setting aside acres of valuable farmland for habitat development and land conservation and making their farming operations friendlier to wildlife. Through landowner partnerships, the PhD has been able to establish long-term agreements for habitat improvement on privately held land. As environmental ambassadors, PhD partners have a significant interest in water quality and its effect on both human health and habitat preservation. In conjunction with the PhD program, Pheasants Forever has actively been working with several southern Alberta watershed groups to develop fenced buffer strips along streams, designed to intercept pollution runoff and improve water quality. These buffers protect community water supplies, enrich the aesthetics of the countryside, and provide clean water, shelter, and green vegetation, important to wildlife habitat. Ultimately, the fate of southern Alberta's environment and wildlife populations depends on increased public awareness and education. The PhD program actively promotes land stewardship and fosters the conservation ethic among southern Alberta landowners and resource users. It influences conservation land management policies and supports youth education programs at the grassroots level to ensure long-term sustainability of wildlife and the environment for future generations. Educating today's youth and tomorrow's leaders is vital to the proliferation of southern Alberta's delicate biodiversity. Apart from education and awareness, those who love the outdoors and have spent many years enjoying wildlife say it comes down to supporting something you truly care about.
When I arrived here 25 years ago, I perceived that Alberta was a wildlife paradise. I spent a lot of time out with my dog in the countryside and really enjoyed very much the opportunities that were afforded to me. Since that time, there's been a significant deterioration of the environment for wildlife in eastern Alberta. A lot of this revolves around the intensity of agriculture, the introduction of large numbers of cattle, but probably more important, a lot of it revolves around the conservation efforts of the irrigation districts to ensure that all of the water gets used for agriculture. Obviously, one of the implications of that is that the water for wildlife just isn't there anymore. The Partners in Habitat Development project has been going now for 3 years in the Eastern Irrigation District and has been extremely successful. We think it's now time to expand that to the other 12 irrigation districts in Eastern Alberta. We believe that there's great support both among the farmers and the irrigation districts for this effort. I think that now is a time that we've got to pull together, work with the agricultural community and the irrigation districts to develop and continue to maintain a viable wildlife population in this area. The PhD program has been a great success over the past 3 years. I've been down and had a look at what they're doing and I'm very excited about it. It's got lots of support from the local agricultural community, and I think it's time now to expose the rest of the communities in southeastern Alberta to this great project.
With an eye to the future, Pheasants Forever Calgary and the Eastern Irrigation District is embarking on a 5-year expansion of the Partners in Habitat Development program throughout all 13 irrigation districts in southern Alberta. The pilot project of the PhD program has been so successful that there's a waiting list of Eastern Irrigation District farmers anxious to participate. Numerous other irrigation districts have expressed an enthusiastic interest in adopting the PhD program and offering it to their landowners. The total number of acres represented in all 13 irrigation districts is an impressive 1,300,000. The expanded Partners in Habitat Development program will succeed in long-term improvement and stabilization of wildlife habitat and species survival in southern Alberta. But more importantly, it will serve as a legacy for future generations, so they may actively enjoy and appreciate the bounty of nature's gifts in all their splendor.